chapter 3 and just remind you that this is a really remarkable moment in the life and ministry of Jesus. His great enemies throughout his entire life were the religious leaders of Israel. Here he was, the Son of God, the Messiah, the one they'd all been waiting for, and his greatest enemies were the religious teachers of Israel, the scribes, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the rabbis. Everybody who was in spiritual influence and spiritual power turned against him. And it is then remarkable that there is one Pharisee who seeks him out, a man by the name of Nicodemus. He wants to talk to Jesus, and he comes to him, as chapter 3 begins, at night. And he comes with a very, very profound ache in his heart. He has sinner's worry. He is full of anxiety, fear, dread. Why? Because he's a hypocrite. All Pharisees were hypocrites. In Matthew 23, Jesus called them hypocrites repeatedly, time after time after time after time, said they were like whitewashed tombs that look good on the outside and on the inside were full of dead men's bones. They were hypocrites. Hypocrites know they're hypocrites because they know their own hearts. They know that what they're doing on the outside has no correlation to who they are on the inside. Jesus said that they were sons of hell themselves, who made more sons of hell by the influence they had through their teaching of others. One of those sons of hell, a man named Nicodemus, is profoundly burdened, and he's an important man. According to history, he's one of the 3 wealthiest men in Jerusalem. He is the teacher in Israel. He is the elevated, most noble, and maybe the most respected of all the teachers of Judaism in its apostate form at that time. He's a member of the Supreme Court of Israel. He's ascended to that level. He is a very important figure with a huge, huge fear in his heart. He doesn't know God. He has no assurance of heaven. He does not believe that he is reconciled to God. He's full of angst and fear, and he comes to Jesus in the hope that maybe Jesus can tell him what's missing, because he's convinced that Jesus is a teacher sent from God. That's what he says in chapter 3, the first verse or 2. We know you're a teacher from God, because no one can do what you do unless God is with him. So here is a better teacher than he is. If he's the teacher in Israel, he's supposed to have all the information. There's nobody lower than him that might have information that he doesn't have, but here he's met somebody who has to be a more elevated teacher than he is, because he's never known anybody to do the miracles that Jesus has done. So here is his opportunity to get an answer to the hypocrisy that has marked his entire life. So he comes to Jesus, and here we find Jesus evangelizing a Pharisee. Here we find Jesus evangelizing a very elevated religious leader. And therefore, what Jesus says to this man is highly instructive for us. Now, backing away from that, which is the setting for chapter 3, the message of Christianity has always been this, that everybody in the world is headed for eternal hell, to be punished forever for their sins. Everyone. However, there is heaven. There is eternal heaven of joy and bliss and peace and satisfaction and fulfillment forever. How does one escape hell and get to heaven? That's the message of Christianity. And the answer is by faith. Not by works, but by faith. Not by religion, but by believing. That's the message of Christianity. For by grace are you saved through faith, not of works. It's not about your morality. It's not about your virtue. It's not about your philanthropy. Not about your ceremonies, rituals, religious activities. The only way to escape hell and enter heaven is by believing. Believing by faith.